if we want to get our unconscious minds to be driving us to the behaviors that we want to do, or that we wish that we were doing. We wish that we want to do it. How do we fulfill this wish of getting to the point of wanting to do something? And that is to cultivate a vision. Whatever is the least painful thing is the thing you're just constantly doing. It's like without vision, that's all we're doing. So, an example is when people come to the decision to lose weight, a lot of the time it's just because it's become so painful to be overweight. They're feeling horrible about themselves. They're just getting heavier. There's body aches and pains, and the confidence is low, and they feel low energy. And that pain has motivated them to say, okay, well, whatever it takes to lose weight surely is less painful than this. So I'm going to do that. I'm willing. I'm ready because it's so painful right now. But then what happens is, if it's not driven by vision, then a lot of the time, it's like as soon as they lose a little bit of weight or lose enough weight to feel better, now it's not so painful. So it's actually more painful to keep it up. It's more painful to continue to do these behaviors, to deny yourself some cravings and be disciplined around movement and calorie tracking or food choices, whatever it might be. But now it's become more painful to do that because there was no vision driving it. They just end up falling off the wagon because the vision wasn't strong enough, because that's what's needed to get through those hard times, to have your vision set further beyond where you are, so that you can see further, and that's what you're being pulled towards, who you want to be and how you want your life to be. If you're just reacting to how you feel, how much pain you're experiencing right now, then there's just no way that you can keep that up. And if we're not driven by a vision, then we're just being kicked around by pain and pleasure. And I'm sure you've seen this a lot probably with yourself, and then definitely with others. People constantly doing the yo-yo dieting, or starting something and then stopping it, or doing it, going really well, even if it's for like a couple of months or a year even. Or sometimes more longer than that, but then it sort of falls away because it's not the vision isn't kept in their heart. They haven't really had that vision become part of who they are, and it's constantly driving them. So I've been saying, if you don't have a vision, if you're not driven by vision, then you're not going to be able to get there. But the truth is that we actually are driven by vision, whether you realize it or not, right? It's just whether we have a positive vision or a negative vision of ourselves, or even a neutral one. It's that vision is an unconscious thing. We don't choose that, but you can, right? And I know that the vision that I had of myself when I was younger, was one of being fat and lazy and and unlovable and unattractive, and that was just how I saw myself, and that's how I saw my future. And so I didn't really put much effort into doing anything, because I just thought, well, that's just how it is, and I expected myself to make those choices. And it wasn't until I got to the point of too much pain, and that did motivate the initial shift. And then it took a while to really get a new vision for myself. It took probably years to realize that. This wasn't something that I became fully aware of until later on, when I really had to try and keep the results. Keeping your results is a lot more difficult over time than getting the results in the first place. So when I was sort of going back and forth, starting to put some weight back on, and then being challenged by that and not wanting that, I had to go deeper. How am I going to keep this? How am I going to make sure that this sticks? And that had to come from a deeper change in how I saw myself, the vision I had for myself and my future. What is it that's going to keep me going here? I was talking to someone about this the other day. She's been struggling a little bit lately with bringing her weight down. I was talking to her about what is it that's driving her. What are her reasons for wanting this? How is it going to change her life? How's it going to improve her life? She found that hard to answer. If you haven't really thought about what it's going to do for you, how it's going to change your life, what am I driving towards? How is this going to make my life better? You know, if you can't really answer that question, then there's no inspiring vision there. You know, well, the motivation is going to be very low. You know, what? Because why bother? Why put in all the effort? There's a lot of things that influence vision. You know, but one of them is self-esteem. You know, if she just didn't believe that it was possible, it's sort of like that really stops you from dreaming. It stops her from really seeing that and committing to it, because it's like, if you think out long enough, it's just like, well, it's not going to happen. So, you know, don't worry about it. So there are so many little unconscious factors that influence the vision. And your vision, it's not a set thing. It's something that's constantly evolving and growing and changing. And we want to be in control of that. We want to be directing that vision, making sure we're becoming more conscious of our vision, more and more conscious of the vision that's driving you, because it is driving you. And she was a great example of this. And she was saying, you know, it sort of had a light bulb moment when we were talking about this, about her vision for herself. She had said that, you know what you're saying is really making some sense to me now, and I can see it. She made a comment to me talking about her future and her vision, and saying that she watches these videos of older fit ladies, strong and fit. They're doing lots of the push-ups and you know, and going for runs and doing all these things. And she said she looked at that and she always felt like a sense of like, that couldn't be me, or that won't be me. You know, and it only occurred to her in that moment that that's what her vision for herself is. Not that. The fact that she looked at that and felt like that wasn't her, or that she couldn't be that, was something that kind of made her a little bit sad. You know, it was something that she wishes that she could be. But this is the thing, you know, the future is an undetermined thing. The future is a place of possibility. That was a really huge insight for her. I said, how do you want to go about starting to direct that more and change that, so that you can be drawn towards that future that you would like? Start to read some books on these sorts of things. Start to follow a lot of profiles of the older ladies who are really fit and strong and doing that, and just start to look at it and think to yourself, you know, how could I be like this? How could I become this? You know, and start to vision your future. Start to cultivate that vision. Just see those images and those feelings. Like, feel the feelings of what it would be like to be that, and bring up those images in your mind of yourself like that. And you know, and just play with them. Play with them. I mean, this isn't something you can force. Vision is unconscious, right? And how you change unconscious things is not with a bunch of thoughts, right, or a bunch of words, right? They can help, but all the words are doing is pointing to what the unconscious thinks in, which is in pictures and feelings. So images and feelings. So if you want to shift your vision and create a new vision for yourself, describing it in words, it can be useful, but only if those words are connecting you to a picture and a feeling. To see yourself running around like that, you know, it's more important to cultivate that vision, literally vision of yourself running around as an older person, being active, doing those things, and what the feeling of that would be, right? So it's connecting to those things. So seeing yourself as that, and then connecting to the feeling of it. Right. And then the rest kind of follows. All the details kind of like they'll manifest as they do, but it's the feeling and the image that needs to be connected to if you want to create that strong vision for yourself. Because the reality is there is an unconscious vision of yourself that you have in your future, an image of it and a feeling associated with it. Whether it's one of just being overweight and unhappy and disappointed, you know, there's not doing much. That's kind of what you live in. You live into the vision that you have. You can't not. That's how it works, right? So it's that's something that people don't typically choose to do. They're just kind of basing it on the past and projecting into the future. But then that typically just gets you more of the same. Another thing that gets your whole unconscious system working or moving in a particular direction and gets your vision shifting in another direction is the why, right? It's talking about why you want to do something, getting clear on that. You know, a lot of channels just talk about the how. right? A lot of people talk about the how. A lot is like, okay, do this many reps, do this much. This is how it works. This is what this is what needs to be done. The what, the how. If you're not connected to it at the why level, the reason is it's going to improve my life. The reason is that I want to be healthier and stronger, and I want to feel better. I want to look good at the beach. I want to be able to play with the kids. I want to be able to, whatever it is that your reasons are, what it is that this action is, the meaning behind it, the reasons behind it, the thing that it's going to manifest in your life by you continuing to do this, that is the thing that will that gets that fire burning inside, gets that thing that I say inspiring the vision. That's when you are connected to your why. That is coming back to that quote. You cannot force an agenda. You have to inspire it, and you inspire it by getting connected to your vision, connected to your why. Most people know what to do already. A lot of people watching this, I imagine, know a lot already, know a lot more than you give yourself credit on how to do it. But the thing is, you're not connected to why you want it. And that's it. As soon as you connect to the why, then the how to just kind of takes care of itself, right? When that unconscious fire is there, the inspiration is there, then the agenda just kind of unfolds on its own. Right? That really is the secret, right? Connect to your why, connect to your vision. So that's all we got time for today. But if you want even more information on how to get your unconscious mind driving in the directions that you would love and to become inspired to do these things, then watch this video and I'll see you there.